In today's video, I'm sharing with you tips and tricks that you need to know this holiday season. From December 4th through the 24th, you can get up to 35% off furniture, rugs, and kitchenware at the Home Depot. So it's a great time to pick up any home decor you need or last minute gifts. And any of the products I'm showing you in today's video, you can scan this QR code right here and it will take you to all of those items, or I will link those items down in the description box below. And I want to thank the Home Depot for sponsoring today's video. If you have any old bells sitting around your house, maybe you don't put them out for decor anymore, let me show you a trick you can use to update them so they look amazing with your holiday decor. I have these 3 bells in different sizes. I also got some metallic spray paint. This one is a lot richer and a deeper color, and it's gonna look amazing. We're gonna go out and spray paint our bells. All right, time for a second coat. How cute are these? Now that they're gold, you could leave them like this and put them out on your mantle or anywhere in your decor. I'm gonna add a little bit of red ribbon. There's so many great furniture items at the Home Depot. I found this cabinet and I think it's perfect in my hallway. I love the detail with the arched doors. I'm definitely gonna be able to store a ton of stuff in here. Okay, so what are we gonna put on top? I think we need a mirror. And I'm gonna add this vase. Let me show you how I put it together. The Home Depot has so many great home decor options. This vase, when I saw this on their website, I had to pick it up. I think it's gorgeous. You could put florals in here, but let me show you a fun craft idea. So first you're gonna gather some pine cones. You can use smaller ones, larger ones. I actually have 2 different sizes. Like I have some that are a little bit smaller, and then I have like medium sized ones, but you could use larger ones as well. So what we're gonna do is we're going to cut the tops of our pine cones down. Now I will say each of these are gonna look a little bit different because all pine cones are shaped a little bit different. So I'm gonna start by just taking off maybe the top part of my pine cone. I'm just gonna use the scissors and cut that off. Now, if you have larger pine cones, you may have to use wire cutters. After I cut off that top part, I'm going to go in and cut the first layer of petals that I see. They're not really petals, but you know what I mean. So I'm just going to trim those down. I want my pine cone to look like a flower, so I'm cutting it so I have a little center portion here and then the rest around the edge. This one was a little off-centered, but let me show you on a different one. So I have this pine cone. I'm gonna cut off this center portion here. This is what it looks like after I cut off the center portion. That actually looks pretty good. So I might cut like this one off right here, but you just wanna create a center portion on your pine cone. Okay, so this one, I cut off the top, and then I think that one looks pretty good too. So I think I'm just gonna cut off the top of that one. And don't worry, it's gonna be a little messy. All right, so this one, I cut off the top, and then I have all the little ones around here that I trimmed down. Now that we cut these down, we're gonna paint them. So I got 3 different sample paints from the Home Depot. I got kind of a mustard color, I got a rich green, and then I also got this magenta pink color. So we're going to just paint them. Some of the centers, I'm gonna put yellow. I may leave some brown, I don't know. Just have fun with it and paint it whatever colors you like. So you can do so much with these. So you can either paint them all one color, you could paint them all 3 colors. If you wanna make your center a little bit brighter, you could do that. You could leave them brown, anything goes. So I'm gonna let these dry. I do wanna glue them on to some skewers, but I think I'm gonna paint them first. I'm gonna paint these up and let these dry for about a half hour. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to attach these, but I think hot glue is going to work to hold our pine cones on our stick. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue to the back and then placing the stick on so that it looks pretty on the front. My pine cones are done. I want to add them to my vase, but I need something to hold them in place. So you can put anything in here. I'm just going to throw some Epsom salt. And the great thing about Epsom salt is it looks like snow. All right, so since you have the Epsom salt, You can put these at different height, just kind of mix your colors around. And if you don't like it, it's okay. You can always pull it out, or you can cut this if it's too long. I may have to do that with some of the ones in front. So we're in my office. I wanted to make it look a little bit more festive in here. Really the only thing I have in here right now are my trees that are on my sconces over here. So I have a tension rod, and what I want to do is put it in the doorway of my office. So I'm thinking maybe we could put it here and then move it up. So we're gonna wrap a garland around here. So this is such a fun hack to add any garland to a doorway. If you have a smaller doorway, you could use a smaller tension rod, but I'm just gonna put it on here loosely right here so I can wrap everything on, and then I'll move it up once I have it in place. So I got this battery operated garland from the Home Depot, and I think it's gonna be important that it's on batteries because it's gonna be up there pretty tall. So I'm gonna be adding this to my tension rod. Because my tension rod is white and not green, I'm just gonna wrap it in some tinsel before I put the garland on. So I'm gonna start on one side, and I'm not gonna go all the way to the edge just because it's a little bit easier. And I'm just gonna wrap it around. Once you get to the end, wrap it around one more time and then just tie a little knot, and then you can cut off the excess. If you don't want to do that, you could also wrap it back around. All right, now we're gonna add on our garland. Let me take this out. So this takes 3 AA batteries, so I'm gonna put those in before I get the rest of it out. Okay, it looks like they are working. There's a button on the back of the battery pack. Find the center of your garland, and that's what we're gonna place on the center. So let me show you what we're doing. So I'm gonna take this, and I'm just going to put one side over my tension rod and get it as centered as possible. Okay, so I'm not gonna twist it around a bunch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, so I'm going to loop it on the front here, and then instead of going up and over, I went going back because I think it looks a little bit better. Crossed it in the middle, swooped along the edge, and then brought it around to the back. Now, this battery pack, we are going to have to disguise this. So I'm going to have to put it in my greenery so you can't see it. To disguise the battery pack, I'm going to take some of this tinsel that I have, and I'm just going to wrap it around the battery pack so you can't see it. The next step is to go in and fluff out all the branches so it looks nice and full. I fluffed it out. Now I'm going to add on some bows. These were bows that I put on my Christmas tree. They were really easy to tie. I just put 2 dowel rods on my countertop, wrapped the ribbon around, and tied it in place. The other thing I added in was a hook so that it would be easy to hang. So I'm gonna add a few of those bows to this garland. All right, so now that it's all ready, I'm going to loosen it up a bit and move it up there and tighten it, and hopefully it looks okay. It's all done. Let me know down in the comments if you guys would do this project. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is garland. Let's make some crock pot candy. This is super easy. You're gonna put your crock pot on low, and then you just need 4 ingredients. I'm gonna use 4 ounces of baking chocolate. I'm gonna put in about 8 to 12 ounces of milk chocolate chips, a half a cup of peanut butter, but really I'm just gonna scoop it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then about a cup of peanuts. Super simple. Now I'm just going to let it set for an hour, and then we'll come back to it. So our candies had a chance to melt. I'm gonna take off the lid and stir it. So I'm gonna scoop a little bit out and put it in my cupcake liners. Now, if you want to, for a final step, you could add on some sprinkles. Just let these set up, and then they're gonna be ready to go. I'd love to know down in the comments, what are your favorite treats to make for the holidays? Our candy's all set up. Let's try it out. I think it tastes great, and this was so easy to put together. I have somebody on my list who asked for luggage, so I ordered this carry-on suitcase from the Home Depot. Now, what I liked about this suitcase was it had this front flap where you could get into your suitcase, because I feel like if you just want to take this and nothing else, you could put your electronics, your laptop in here. So my other suitcases do not do this. Now, if you want to take it a step further and personalize it and make some luggage tags, let me show you how I did it. So you can use any luggage tags you want. The other thing I ordered from the Home Depot is some of their wallpaper samples. It's one of my favorite hacks because you can buy samples for just a couple of dollars and they're sticky and will fit in your cutting machine. So I went into Cricut Design Space and I wanted to create a monogram. So I was making 2 of these. So for one of my daughters, I just did her nickname, which is AB. And so I put that into the monogram. My other daughter, I did her full initials, which is CGF. I sized them down so that they would fit onto my luggage tags, and then I sent them to cut on my Cricut. Make sure when you're putting the wallpaper into your machine, you put it on a cutting mat. After they were done cutting out, I just used a tool to pull up each of the initials, and then I stuck them to my luggage tags. And this is a great way to personalize your gift. You could do this hack with any peel and stick product that you have. What do you do with all this free packaging that you get in your Home Depot boxes? I have a great solution for you. Now, the bigger pieces work the best. So I got this large piece and I'm gonna set it out on my countertop and I'm going to iron it to straighten it out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just try to get as many wrinkles out as you can. Now, there's no way you're gonna get all of the wrinkles out, but just do your best. Now, before I add my design, I'm gonna cut it down because I don't need to do the whole entire paper. So I'm gonna cut my paper with what I'm going to wrap in mind. This is all I'm going to need, but I really have enough to wrap another gift as well. Pull out your holiday cookie cutters and your white paint pen, and we're going to trace them on our paper. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Take a cookie cutter, put it on the paper, and trace around it. Now, as you're going, if you mess up, like I did on this candy cane, I just added a bow. If you want to add things, like I might try to add some ornaments to the tree, just add whatever you like and have fun with it. Next, we're just going to wrap this around our present. How adorable is this? Now, if you don't have a lot of ribbon, like I don't have very much ribbon here, let me show you what you can do. So take your ribbon, divide it in half, and then you're gonna hold it at the top of your package. Take the ribbon, wrap it around the middle, and loop it through. Then you're just gonna pull it tight. Now from here, I don't have a lot to work with, so I'm going to tie a bow, and I think it'll work. But really, if the bow doesn't work out, I think I could leave it like this and it would be cute. I could even just like tie a knot. So let's try a bow. Yeah, I think that totally works, and then we'll just cut our ends at an angle. I bought this candle on the Home Depot's website. It's by Z Candles, and I wanted to show you guys what it looks like before I wrap it up. Now, if you were giving this to somebody, it comes wrapped with a ribbon. It's so nice. Look at the packaging on this. And then I loved the label on this. The scent I got is Santal. It smells really good. It's like a woodsy scent, which is my favorite. But I wanna give this as a gift, so let me show you how I would wrap it up. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this box, and then I have a fun topper I wanna show you. So after you have your present wrapped, you wanna put a bow on there, but you don't have bows, maybe you just have gift wrap. Let me show you what you can do. So take the top of your present, and any gift wrap, like extra scrap is perfect. then you're just going to make it the size of your package. So I'm just going to cut along the side here and line up where my package ends. Now I'm going to make it about, I would say about 8 inches long. So next, I'm going to fold my paper in half. And then I'm just gonna double check. It's about this size, I think it'll work. So once you have your paper folded in half, you can tape it if you want. I think I'm going to. Now, if you had double-sided paper, you would not have to fold it in half. Just make one about that size. Now we're going to accordion fold it. And what's great about my paper is it has stripes on it, but don't worry about being precise. Just do your best. Take your 2 middle pieces, hold them together, and then you're gonna put a little bit of tape on the back to hold those together. To hold it to your package, you can just put tape along the back and hold it in place. Now you have a fancy bow. So for years, we've been putting together charcuterie boards, but I wanted to do something a little bit different this year. So I got this really cute board online at the Home Depot, and I thought, what if we put together charcuterie cups? If you haven't seen these before, it's all of the charcuterie items in a little cup. These are perfect for parties. Let me show you how I put mine together. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You wanna get similar items that you would use for a charcuterie board. You want crackers, meat, cheeses, nuts, fruit, cookies, anything you want, but the only catch is it has to fit in the cup. So I'm gonna start with one of these cups and I'm gonna put nuts at the bottom and follow it up with some cranberries. If you cut up cheese in a triangle, it could look like a Christmas tree. So I'm just gonna take a skewer and put it through the middle. Isn't that cute? Let me show you how to make the meat look fancy. So take a piece of salami or whatever you like, fold it in half and then fold it in half again. Then you're gonna place a skewer through the middle. And you're gonna keep doing that, but the next time you're gonna put the open side over here. Let me show you how to do that. So take this, fold it in half again, place it through the middle. I'm gonna put on maybe 3 more pieces. If you wanna buy these cheese cubes that are already cut up, you can just stick those on a skewer. I got a pack that has all different kinds of cheese. Let's do one with fruit. I'm gonna do raspberries and blackberries. All right, let's add everything in. All right, I want this little tree to be at the front. You could put some crackers in anywhere you have open space. And don't worry if they don't all look alike. That's kind of the fun of it. Rosemary is another great touch that you can add. Just kind of put it in an open spot. I think it makes it look Christmassy. Top it off with a little cookie. All right, now we're just gonna repeat those steps. I feel like these turned out so cute. I know that you could put it together for your next holiday event. Let me show you how to reuse your old boxes from the Home Depot. Start by cutting up your box. You want to use parts of your box that don't have anything on them. I think I can remove this. So I'm gonna attempt to make a gingerbread village to put on my stove shelf back here with this cardboard. Now I don't have a lot of room, but I think it's going to work out. So I'm gonna start by cutting out some houses. And basically I'm just gonna be making squares and then I'll make a roof line. So I wanna test the height. Okay, that's actually perfect. So I'm gonna try to make the other ones no taller than this one. So now that I have all of my houses cut out, now we can have some fun. So get out your favorite paint pen. I think white is best. I'm gonna try to turn these into gingerbread houses. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. I like to start at the roof and I'll put whatever design. So I think with this one, I'm gonna do shingles. I might add some icicles. I'll probably do a door. We'll see. maybe some windows as well. All right, so for my next one, I think I'm gonna try to do the snow falling down, maybe add a star. Now the door doesn't always have to go in the middle. You could put it over on the side, and then maybe we'll put something over here like a tree or something. Let me know down in the comments what projects you're gonna be trying this holiday season. I love knowing your opinion. And don't forget, all the products I showed you from Home Depot are linked below in the description box, or you can scan the QR code right here to take you directly to all those products. And make sure you subscribe because I wanna see you back here, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye.